Welcome back to Lancescurv, everyone. I want to thank you all for your feedback, for your participation, even if it's silent, just watching the videos, just that you're there. I want to tell you how much I appreciate you, and I want to really say how much I appreciate your interest in my experiences, which I share freely and without shame. It's a lot. This life, there's a lot going on in this life at one time. So I want to just applaud those who are trying to do the right thing, who are doing the right thing. And even if you slip and fall and make a misjudgment or what you call a mistake, there are no mistakes, only if you stay down in life. The bottom line is that you keep getting up and swinging and keep on stepping. And don't let those things that happen to you when you fall mess with your mind. Put it out of your mind with each step forward, and you'll never go wrong. There's so many people out here addicted to drugs, who have anger issues, addicted to fighting, addicted to crime. There's so many people out here who are depressed and they feel they don't have a future, but they're here. So for all those folks out here, I just want to say you do have a future because you're here for a reason, even when you don't know it. You have to understand you are here for a reason, even when you don't know it. Most people don't realize that. Most people feel as though they have to fit in someone else's dynamic, someone else's life, or they're looking sideways. At this particular point, they may not have as much money as the next person. They may not have as much possessions as the next person. They may not have a mate. They may be lonely, but you're still here for a reason. And you're going through different things, not because you're a bad person, but as part of the development of you. You're being developed. The fiery furnace, which creates you to be who you are. And you look back and you forget about the pain of these times and you remember the wisdom that you got from it. So I just want to say again, there's a request from, let me scroll down here. Back in the day, but it's not spelled that way. It's spelled kind of a hip way. Back in the day, 43. And the video again is sex is a mere band-aid for the gunshot wound of loneliness. Rooftop Perspectives 161. I can go on about with this topic for days. I just want to touch on some things that I thought about as I thought about how I was going to respond. I thought about it, but this is still shoot from the hip. I never really write down particular points. But let's just read the comment again. I'd love to see more on people who have demonic sexual ties, such as an incubus or succubus sexual spirit or sexual addiction. So let me just look up succubus. I could look up incubus too. It's just kind of the same thing. Now I'm pulling up here succubus powers. Okay. I saw that pop up. I jumped on that really quick because I think that would be pretty good. And here's another one. I'm going to succubus and incubus. And this is all off the cuff, y'all. I'm going to read a few things that I see up here. And then I'm going to do a specific take on what I'm thinking about because it's such a broad topic, right? Let's look at succubus powers at first. Okay, succubus. A succubus is a demon or supernatural entity in folklore in female form that appears in dreams to seduce men, usually through sexual activity. Okay, let's go down here to the Google questions that they have put out with answers. What skills does a succubus have? Abilities. In addition to their shape-shifting and natural powers of seduction, succubi and incubi have a deadly kiss. They can draw the soul out of a man's mortal body through the mouth, and only the strongest willed mortals are able to resist their lips have touched. Listen, they said a whole lot between the lines. They didn't want to really say it. Okay. When you look at a succubus, the first syllable is suck. We're talking about blowjobs here. We're talking about oral sex. We're talking about head. And there are some people out here who are on a level of being demonic. They are so good with what they do. In porn, there's a terminology called soul sucking or sucking my soul. She sucked my soul, suck my soul. These are people who invite the succubus into their life because of the pleasure that they feel, that they just say, hey, take my soul, give me that pleasure. Vaginal sex is wonderful and it's good. But when you're getting sucked, and I'm sorry to be so lewd, it is a whole different thing when it's done on that level. And it becomes an addiction. It becomes something that you seek out for the rest of your life. Other people can suck you, but they ain't sucking you like a succubus. And we have people out here, and I said people, right? Because they make this thing seem as though it's just something that happens to you in your sleep. You're laying down and you feel this sexual energy on you. You feel this mouth on you. Just like in the explanation, it said it right there. In addition to the shape-shifting and natural powers of seduction, succubi and incubi have a deadly kiss. They can draw the soul out of a mortal's body through the mouth. Suck my soul, blowjob, oral sex. And only the strong-willed mortals are able to resist once their lips have touched. Yes. Let me tell you something. I have experienced the succubus in real life. And let's stop thinking about the succubus being some spirit. Yes, it is a spirit, but it works through people. And yes, it can be a spirit on its own. Of course it could. It happens all the time. But you have so many people out here who are really, truly succubuses or succubi. They could be plain Janes. I'm speaking from a man's point of view because, you know, we say incubus like something's going into you because you have a vagina. Incubus, they get on top of you and enter you. Yes. But these are my words. I feel a succubus can be that man who sucks you off so good, your vagina. We have to talk about these things. I'm not even trying to make jokes about it. This is a very serious thing. Because when you have your soul sucked, you're not the same anymore. You're turned out. You're drawn out, you're turned out, and you're working I can't say half speed, 75% or 5%, but you're not what you were because they got a piece of your soul. I don't know how the other things work after all of this happens, but all I know is that your mind is blown. Your life has changed. You become like a crackhead looking for the next vial of crack. People make jokes about it. You know, I was out late at night with a flashlight just looking for this person all night. They joke about it, but this is no joke. When you have an experience that kind of demonic orgasm, it is hard to pull away from it. You have the good stuff, which is wholesome, but when you have that thing that has mastered seduction, the stuff of your subconscious mind, the things that turn you on, they do everything perfect. And they know what your brain wants. You can feel it all the way up in the back of your head. And you lay there paralyzed in the fetal position, mind blown like something's been removed from you. The next few days, you're walking around and you're passing exits on the highway. You're at the stop sign waiting for it to change, and it doesn't change. The people behind you start honking. You find yourself staring off into space. 1 hour, 2 hours go by. You're just staring off into space, and you can't even remember what you're thinking about. We're talking something deep here. We talk about soul ties. Well, it's not just a tie to your soul. They actually snatch a piece of your soul. And we have many people walking around here with these abilities that when they put their lips on you, it's not just a peck on the cheek. It's not just a little French kissing. When they put their mouth on your genitals and the sensations that they can generate, it is a demonic thing. Not that you feel good. It's demonic. You can feel good with a person who's not a succubus, but it is too intense. It's too intense. And people's lives have been taken away from them because of this. Let's just put a figure on it. Let's just say after your soul is sucked, you're only 25% of what you're supposed to be. And you still might excel and get a good job, but there's something taken from you. You're coasting now. You're not aggressive, righteously going through life. You don't have that enthusiasm like you used to. Something's missing. You've heard it. You've probably even said it. Let's just make up a name. You know, ever since that Vicky got with that man 5 years ago, she's just not the same. She let herself go. She laughs and talks the same way, but it's almost like a sadness. I don't know if it's a sadness or something's just missing. Hey, you know, Kenny back in the day, you know, back in high school, he was in football. He was a scholar. He was a top of his class. He got out. He got into the corporate world and was rising up to the top. And it just seemed when he met that woman that he's living with now, that something's gone. He still has his job. He's still a smart guy, but he's stagnant. And it seems as though he's content to remain stagnant. I'm messing the words up. Sorry, y'all. Stagnant. But he finds himself under the rule of that woman who doesn't seem to really love him, but something she's doing has him in check. She's a succubus. Oral sex feels good. I know. Don't we all? But you get that one who has you thinking all different types of ways, thinking that I got to keep having this. I don't mind. I'll throw my whole life away. Women and men, you might step out of your relationship and mess around with somebody thinking, I'm going to play around. I'm bored in my relationship. And you run across a succubus or an incubus. And they do something to you and you come home and you're ready to leave your mate. You're ready to leave all that you built up just to start all over again. It doesn't matter if you're living in the hood with this person. Just let me get that thing that you give me. Please just give it to me. And they know they got you. See, this is the thing. This is the trick. It's not a happily ever after thing just of you getting sexual satisfaction from the succubus and the incubus. Once they have you, they dangle it in front of your face and rule you. And your life becomes, or your life force becomes something that they use for their benefit. And they can even act like now they don't even care about you. They got you already. And they will always keep you hooked in because after a time, they'll give it to you again. And you're like a happy fiend now, not realizing you messed up your life because all you want to do is lay down and get sucked off by this person. I'm telling you something I know, and I'm speaking for a lot of people out there who are afraid to say it. It does something to your head. You don't rise to the level of excellence that your creator put inside of you with the seeds of greatness. They done sucked all the seeds of greatness out of you. And now you're limp, and now you're spent, and now you're no good even for yourself. And you're happy just to go through life in a mediocre fashion because of this succubus that you ran into, or this incubus, the kiss of death. They give it to you, and it's more than an orgasm. It's more than you just losing a little bit of fluids. It's a whole lot more than that. If you have an experience with a succubus, you better pull away right away if they're not for you. But then again, in a proper arrangement, you should be taking your time. What are you doing that before? Yeah, we think we can beat the odds, but you never beat the odds with a succubus. They are too well equipped and trained and connected down to the lowest pits of where all evil things go, whether you call it hell or not. And they're there to destroy you and suck your righteous life force. You think it's because of your ejaculate or the fluids that come out? That's it? No. They got on you and they're sucking your life force. The righteous life force that you were supposed to use for something good in this world to change it. They suck it all out one time. And that thing feels good coming out. And you're good for nothing after. I'll go in more on this topic. I just wanted to touch it just to answer the question and touch on it, see the responses, and let's see if we can go even deeper on a topic or even a live show. I'd love to do it. Let me know through the comments if you show some interest on this, and I'll go deep. But I'm going to have to be raw when I do it. I'm not going to use gynecological terms, because I've dealt with a few succubuses in my life, had my head spinning. But at least I was determined. At least I've been through enough experiences to know the difference. But even then, it affects you. You have flashbacks like, oh my God, that thing was so good. You're not thinking about it. You can be happily married, but it's still going to hit you. And you really never, ever get over it. That's the scary part of it. So you have to live a righteous life after that, and you have to remain clean and clear of that succubus, because they're there. Because once they suck the life force out of you and suck a piece of your soul, there's no way you can't think about it. So you have to keep moving forward in positivity to do what it is you need to do in this life. But every now and then you'll run up on one, and you'll know them when you see them. They draw you in. May I say it? They suck you in. And that's no joke. It has destroyed many a man and woman's life. It's that serious. I love you all. Lancescurv out. Hit me back with some comments on this. Let me know if you're interested, and we'll go deeper. Or any other topic that you want to speak about. That's what I'm here for, and this is what I love to do. Much love. On to the next one.